So, you've probably heard of the big names in history: Caesar, Alexander, maybe even Cleopatra. But what about the guy who almost made Rome rethink its whole empire thing? Meet Vercingetorix, a man with a name that sounds like you just sneezed, but don't let that fool you. Welcome back, or if you're new here, hello friend. I hope you're having an awesome day. Before we dive in, here's a fun fact. Did you know that Vercingetorix, this fierce leader of the Gauls, actually practiced something that was pretty ahead of its time: scorched earth tactics? Yeah, he ordered his people to burn their own crops and villages to starve out the Romans. That's some serious commitment to the cause, right? All right, now that you've got that little nugget of history, let's dive into the full story of the man who dared to stand up to Caesar, Vercingetorix. Ready? Let's go. Now, before you go thinking he's just another barbarian with a big sword and a bad attitude, let me stop you right there. Vercingetorix wasn't just any warrior. He was a chieftain on a mission to unite the squabbling tribes of Gaul and give the Romans a headache that not even Caesar's ego could cure. And spoiler alert, he nearly pulled it off. Now I get it. A barbarian taking on Rome, that's like bringing a sword to a gladiator match. And, well, you wouldn't be entirely wrong, but here's the twist. Vercingetorix wasn't your run-of-the-mill rebel. No, he was a strategist, a politician, and, believe it or not, a pretty decent leader. For a while there, he made Rome sweat. But this isn't one of those feel-good stories where the underdog comes out on top. Vercingetorix had his flaws, just like the rest of us. For starters, he had a temper. Who doesn't? And a stubborn streak that sometimes worked against him. Like that one time he thought he could outlast Caesar in a siege. Yeah, that didn't go quite as planned. But hey, you've got to give the guy credit. He took on the Roman war machine with nothing but a handful of warriors, a lot of guts, and maybe just a pinch of overconfidence. And let's be real, who wouldn't be overconfident when you're leading the biggest uprising Gaul had ever seen? But here's where it gets complicated. Vercingetorix wasn't just fighting for his people, he was fighting to be remembered, to be the guy who finally put Rome in its place. But history's a tricky thing. Was he a hero who stood up for freedom, or just a guy who bit off more than he could chew? His end wasn't exactly the stuff of legend. Captured, paraded through the streets of Rome, and, well, let's just say things didn't end well, but even in defeat, there's something about Vercingetorix that sticks with you. Maybe it's the way he never backed down, or maybe it's the way he forced Rome to take him seriously, even if just for a moment. So, was he a hero, a fool, or just a man who dared to dream a little too big? You be the judge, but one thing's for sure, he's not just another name in a dusty history book. Vercingetorix made history, and now it's time for history to give him his due. Well, friend, that's the end of this story. Vercingetorix may not have won the war, but he certainly left his mark on history. If you enjoyed this dive into the past, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel out a lot, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on who we should explore next. Be safe out there, and I'll see you soon. Take care, friend.